Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, as long as we look good, right? Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Yasa. I'm a violinist, and I moved to the United States almost 10 years ago from Russia. So in this pandemic, I had nothing better to do than starting this channel and communicating with the world and bringing awareness of different countries. And I find it very beneficial, especially at this time. I feel we really, really need to know each other just a little bit more, to be more tolerant, to be more sensitive, understanding and accepting to each other. I truly feel that it's my mission at the moment, and I'm welcoming my friends to this channel to introduce them and to introduce different countries. So today I have a special pleasure to talk to Mario. Hi, Mario.
Hi, Yasa. How are you? Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm so happy you're able to join me and our friends on this channel. Mario is from Honduras. Mario is an amazing violist, a very sweet, warm person. And I hope we can find out some interesting scoop and some interesting information about his home country, Honduras, and about his journey here in US. Okay, Marito, so tell me, how many years ago has it been for you here in the United States? When did you move?
Yeah, this 2021 is my 10th year, 10th anniversary.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, really?
Yes, let's celebrate together. So,
I guess so.
Where did you move first, and how did it happen? Did you come to United States as a student?
I did. And the story how I came to where I came is kind of crazy, kind of wild.
Ooh, I like
but it's a fun story. Well, I came here because, I graduated high school, and the music school at the same time in 2007. So that would tell you a little bit how old I am. And then I stayed in Honduras teaching in the music school where I graduated and playing in the local orchestra. My plan was to come right away, go somewhere to study, but things they happened differently. So I started playing with an orchestra called the Youth Orchestra of the Americas. And we did tours, South America, and many countries. And then in 2009, one of the tours was in Canada and US. So I got my visa for the first time, and I came, super excited. And then in the airport in Houston, I'm waiting on my gate. And then this gentleman comes to me. He had white hair and very elegant man with suit. It's like, oh, excuse me, are you a student? And I'm like, my English was terrible at the time. And I was like, no, I'm not a student, but I want to study. I could communicate somehow. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, look, what are you doing? I was like, I'm playing this orchestra. We're doing a tour. He was like, oh, but that's a good orchestra. I heard of that. So he was like, would you be interested in studying in the United States? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. He gives me his card. And he was a trumpet teacher at Valdosta State. And I was, wow. So he's like, give me your email address. So I give him mine. And that was the end of it. I was like, okay, I put it in my bag. Forgot about it because I had an amazing tour ahead. So I kind of put it in the back of my head and basically forgot. And then a year happened and 2 years happened after that. And I was teaching in Honduras, as I told you, but I was not improving in my playing. And I was like, this is not right. So I decided, to apply to schools, and I basically got in every school except that I didn't know English. So I remember by chance that I had the card from this gentleman, and I emailed him, and he emailed me back. We started being in touch. I was in touch with the viola teacher. I told him my English is bad. And so I did two attempts to pass the TOEFL and didn't pass them. And then I was kind of sad, and I told them, I'm sorry for wasting your time. I think I'm hopeless at this point. And then they're like 2 hours later, I had given up. And 2 hours later, I get an email from the viola teacher saying, Mario will give you the English program. So just come here, you're going to get your I-20 as soon as possible. And then the next day, I got the I-20. It's crazy. They sent the letter and usually arrives to the capital. I don't live in the capital. I live in San Pedro Sula. It's a different city. So because of the bureaucracy and everything, the national mail service is very slow. So it gets to the capital, they pile it up, and after a week or two, they move everything to the other cities, right? Well, the letter arrived like an hour before the bus was supposed to go back to my city. So the letter somehow got in the truck and then got to my city. And then I was like, I never been in the postal service. Let me go check and see what I need to do whenever the letter arrives. And I go and I'm like, hey, sir, how you doing? And it's like, I just want to make sure if I have a letter. I knew I didn't have a letter, but I asked that. And it's like, give me your ID. So I gave him my ID. It's like very strange. This is weird. So he goes back and then comes back with the letter and says, it's the weirdest thing. This just arrived in yesterday and 5 minutes before you came to the store. And
Marito seems like it was meant to be, right?
It was meant to be, definitely.
So many things, from meeting that gentleman randomly at the airport to the letter that takes so long to arrive to your city, all of a sudden being there exactly at the time that you need to have it to be able to come to study, right? If it would be 2 weeks later, you wouldn't go that year, right?
No, I don't know. Look, if one of those things, the sponge that I just explained, was delayed for hours, sometimes a day, or maybe longer, I would probably be somewhere else or not in the US. Or
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, life
unbelievable.
Is
So what I'm learning from this conversation, that postal services in Honduras are not the fastest. Is that a true statement?
It is a true statement. You can say that. Hopefully they will listen to me.
Well, Honduras sounds like an amazing country because I meet such wonderful friends from Honduras, and all my friends from Honduras are amazing, sweet people. Tell me, what is the main thing you love about your country?
Oh, I love a bunch of things. It's hard to pick one, but food is amazing. The food?
No, everything. So the food is the first thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, probably food. I love the mountains. Honduras is full of mountains. That's amazing views everywhere. Mm-hmm. We also have beautiful islands in the Caribbean, and they are part of the second largest coral reef in the world after the Great Barrier in Australia. Mm-hmm. So I've been diving there, and Honduras has so many things to offer. People is, as you say, very warm, very nice people, hardworking. We have been hit by many pandemics. We like to say, not only the pandemic, that is hitting now. We have other things that have stopped or held the development of the country, like corruption and other stuff that happens everywhere, really. Mm-hmm. But we're also in a vulnerable area, so we get hit with hurricanes approximately every 20 years and sets us back a few decades. But people are always resilient, and they really want to move forward. And it's every time I go back, it's been 10 years, but every time I go back, there's so much development, that I wasn't there when I was living there. And I see it in the infrastructure. I see it in how people have become more aware of many things, like around the world. Before it used to be very isolated. Now it seems more open. Like, globalization has really, and technology has really helped in that sense. But I do love and miss it dearly, the food, my family, my friends, the culture in general. It's quite a beautiful country. We have the Mayans there if you ever want to go and see the.
I do, absolutely. After this pandemic, I'm there.
It is gorgeous. It is really, really gorgeous. I've been there like 2 times in the past 10 years. So it's just amazing.
Is there a reason you don't go more often?
I wish I went more often to Honduras in these past 10 years. But since I came a little late, I stayed working 3 years, as I said before, in Honduras. So when I came to the US, I was 22. And I'm like, there's no time to waste. So every summer I was applying for a music festival. And so, and I was like, this is expensive to travel. So I would just save money and stay with family, or just planning to hopefully get into the festival so I don't have to pay rent and food for the summer. And thankfully, it worked out every single time. So I'm really happy for that. So I wish I went back more often, but at the same time, it was worth the effort.
Marito, talk to me about food. What's your favorite food, and can you give me the recipe? Are you a good cook, by the way?
I'm okay. I was very, so good. But I learned. And one of my favorite dishes is baleadas. I don't know if Cacho ever made baleadas to you.
Maybe. What is it? Can you talk
It's like a flour tortilla that has pinto beans, refried beans, cheese, scrambled eggs. You can add chicken, you can add avocado, you can add many things, whatever you want inside. It's basically like a big taco, but in a Honduran style, and it's flour tortilla, which gives the flavor. One of the secrets of the flavor of the dish is basically in the tortilla, in the making of the tortilla, the ingredients and all that. My mom is very good at it, and I have many aunts that are very good too. I try many times. I'm not quite there yet, but it's very simple to make, and it's delicious.
What's important is practice. So the more you do it, the better it will be every time, right?
Exactly.
I think Cacho makes it spicy. Is the food in Honduras spicy?
No, not really. I think we learned to put spices right here because there's a big influence of Mexicans and Indians, and I guess the combination of all those things makes our palate be like, oh, I want to try a little spice in my native food, So yeah, we don't really eat spicy, but we do every now and then put some heat inside there.
That's okay. Marito, talk to me about desserts. That's my favorite thing to talk about in the world. Do you guys have different kinds, and what's your favorite?
Oh, we have many different kinds. Some of them are shared throughout Latin America. Who knows where it really originated, but one of my favorites is tres leches. I'm sure you tried it here.
I know tres leches, yes.
Yeah. We also have in Honduras things like tostacas, which is made of corn. So basically most of the meals in Honduras are based from corn. So we have tostacas, we have, wish I remember more stuff. But we have atol, which is also made from corn, but sweet corn, and like when it's like small, so it's very juicy, the corn. It's not hard. It's sweet, is really wonderful, really amazing. We have alcitrones, which is made from pumpkin, if I'm not mistaken, and you put it in honey, and then you boil it, and the whole sweetness gets inside, and then you let it dry, and it's kind of crunchy in the outside and very soft in the inside. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites.
Sounds heavenly.
Yeah.
I tried delicious corn desserts in Philippines, and it was out of this world. I think it's something similar, probably.
Basically, because of the region near the Ecuador, a lot of things can grow. So I believe in that area they also have similar dishes.
Well, Marito, believe it or not, but a lot of people interested in education and healthcare around the world. Could you tell me, is the education system in Honduras, is it free to go to school? Is it a good system? Is it a high value education there? Tell me, what do you know about that?
Yeah, I know a little bit. I wish I knew more, but what I can tell you is education is free if you are going to, middle school, high school, even kinder, and university too. We have the National University of Honduras, which has many branches in the capital, in my city, and another important city called Ceiba. And it's a good education. It's tough. It's a lot of people that complain how difficult it is. But I think that's good, because
Yeah.
being from the Caribbean, we tend to be a little bit laid back, a little lazy sometimes. Because it's nice weather, when we know what really is to be like minus 40, minus penguin. And so it's always nice. And so we tend to be a little laid back. So it's good that the education can be a little difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It really shapes people's character. So it's not perfect, I have to say, because politics are involved.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers are getting paid from the government, and many times they don't get paid on time.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go on strike, and strikes can go as long as 2 months or as long as 1 semester. I think a couple of times have gone that long. Other times, they're taking benefits of students of particular field, medicine or something else. And they also go on strike, and then when they go on strike, like, they stop everything. This is like, let's fix this, or nobody is getting anything done.
Does it happen often?
Sadly, it used to happen often, yeah. So that's one of the downsides of it. So it may take a few years for you to graduate, not 4 years the same ways in America, or in other places, because stability. In Honduras, it will take you probably at least 5 to 6 years to finish a 4-year degree, and if not longer, depending of because there's only like 3 universities. There's only 3. So that's a lot of people that come from countryside, and they have to pay rent, live like foreigners, like we do here.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you make in the countryside is not as much as what you make in the city. So they make a really big sacrifice, paying rent, food, books, and things that they need for their career, and then just normal life things, like, you need toothbrush, you need stuff like that. So it can be challenging, especially for those people, but the education is there, it's free, and if everything goes well, then you can graduate on time.
It's so admirable, Marito. I don't think a lot of people realize what sacrifices people make in many, many countries just to get a good education.
Yeah.
It doesn't define you, the place where you were born. It's just a chance in life that you got, right? So by taking actions, by leaving your small village or small city and moving to the big city or another country to get a good degree, to get a good job, to make a life for yourself, there is so much sacrifice in it. And I think we look at immigrants and at people coming from small cities as something annoying and unnecessary, but they actually people to be admired and people to have a lot to learn from for the actions they took and for the sacrifices they made to make a better life for themselves. Just because they are from a small city doesn't mean that they can get a great degree and have a dream life. Very
Absolutely.
admirable. Marito, tell me more about healthcare. How is the healthcare system in Honduras? Is it free? Is it easy to see a doctor? Is it going to be a quick appointment made, or you have to wait for months and months to see a specialist? If you want to know more, please stay tuned for the next episode. See you soon. Пока. Bye.